I wanted to do this video to show you how fast things can change during pregnancy and birth. This is me pregnant with Aaron. I was 34 weeks pregnant. I'd been poorly all throughout the pregnancy, but never in my wildest dreams did I think that my baby was going to be poorly. I gave birth to Aaron after just a few hours of labour. You can see on this photo that you can see his little ear. I didn't notice it at first due to how quick Aaron changed. He looks like a perfectly healthy baby on these photos. But within minutes of him being born, he changed rapidly. He fooled a lot of the doctors when they come in and, during birth to see that he was all right. And because he looked healthy, he fooled them. And it was when my dad was holding him, you can see he'd started to change colour. And I noticed he wasn't breathing right. So the midwife put a tube down his throat to open his airways, and they rushed him to a special care baby unit, which is here. They discovered that Aaron had a tracheoesophageal fistula, which means his food pipe and his windpipe was connected to the wrong things. They operated on day 1 of life. This is Aaron the day after his operation. He was on a ventilator for quite a long time. He was a very poorly little boy and was unable to breathe on his own. They had repaired his TOF, but he was still extremely poorly. They tried to take him off the ventilator several times and he just couldn't breathe on his own. So they kept having to put him back on the ventilator, and then they'd try him again, and he would manage for a little while and then need help. He got resuscitated so many times. He nearly died 5 times in front of me, and many times when I wasn't there as well. He obviously, you can see now on this end, they changed the ventilator because I couldn't see his face, so they tried a different way. Plus they needed to get to his head because all of his veins, with the cannulas, his veins were terrible, so they had to put a cannula into his head, which was awful for him and very, very uncomfortable. But he was very well sedated with pain relief because he was in a lot of pain. But they took him to theatre and found out he had tracheomalacia, which is, it causes your windpipe to collapse, which is why he couldn't come off the ventilator. So they put a tracheostomy in. This is Aaron just after he had the tracheostomy put in, and he was amazing. That little piece of plastic was absolutely unreal. He stayed on a ventilator for a week after to allow his body to recover from major surgery. This is Aaron the first time breathing on his own without any help at all, no oxygen, completely on his own through his tracheostomy. The little bit of plastic on the end of it is called a Swedish nose, and it's got a bit of sponge in which acts as a filter to stop any dust from going into his chest. This is Aaron the day he come home from hospital. It was the day before Kira's first birthday. He was still very, very poorly and needed a lot of care. It was hard. I was a single mum and it was tough. Aaron used to get infections all the time and struggled when he had a cold and was back and forwards to hospital so many times. But during that time, Aaron showed so much strength, courage, and so much resilience. It was unreal. This is a boy that should have... It was basically impossible for Aaron to be alive, but he is. He is literally a miracle baby. All the doctors were amazed by him because they said by rights he shouldn't have been able to breathe. With how much his windpipe had collapsed, they said it was nigh on impossible. But he continued to fight and showed so much courage and strength that the doctors done everything they could to save him. And I am so grateful for that, because even though he's had over 100 operations, and he had the trachea in until he was 2. And, I've had to resuscitate him myself. And he's still, to this day, he still has issues. And he still has more surgery to face. But he never stops smiling. Nothing will ever stop Aaron from achieving life. Basically, he's just such an amazing little boy. And you'd think that with being so poorly, he wouldn't do anything, and he'd be in his cot all day and not move. No, that was not the case with Aaron. He was walking by the time he was 9 months old. He was such a mischievous little boy and had all running round after him and in stitches, because he is so funny. He has always been such an amazing little character. And even though Aaron has his issues, he is one of the kindest, most caring and thoughtful people you could ever meet. This is Aaron on the day that I got married to my husband. My husband's the only dad they've ever really known. And Tom done everything for Aaron and Kira. He come into our life when Aaron was 5 months old. Kira was 15 months old, and ever since then it's been amazing. On the end of Aaron's trachea there, that clear plastic is called a speaking valve. Obviously, when he had his trachea in, he didn't breathe through his nose or his mouth properly. It was all through the trachea, so his air never bypassed his vocal cords. Which meant he couldn't make any sound. I never heard him cry. I never heard his laugh or anything. It was absolutely horrific, and such a horrible thing not being able to hear your baby cry. But that little bit of plastic, when he was older, allowed him to breathe in through his trachea but not out, which meant he could make noise. When Aaron was 2, just after we got married, we got a phone call saying that they were going to try and decannulate him, which means they're going to try and take his trachea out. And I can't tell you how amazing that felt. The day he went into hospital, we stayed in for a week. It was a long process. They tried a smaller tube for 24 hours to see if he could breathe with the smaller tube in. Then after 24 hours, they put a cork, and I've still got everything from then. And I will do another video to show you. But they put a cork on the end of it to stop him from breathing in through it. And he done amazing. All of a sudden, he had this voice. He's running around hospital going, bah, bah, bah. And all the nurses that were there when Aaron was a baby and who cared for him when he was a baby were there that day and couldn't be any happier. And ever since then, Aaron hasn't stopped smiling. And Aaron shows her that if he can smile, so can we.